Hello, Rose here, and you're welcome to Yarn Craftee. In this video, I'll be guiding you through how to crochet these coasters. So this is, I would say it's an easy pattern because it just uses half double crochet stitches and slip stitches. You only just need to know where to be putting the stitches, and I will show you exactly where you need to be putting them. So you need worsted weight yarn, cotton yarn. I always recommend cotton yarn for things that you want to use for your home and all of that because they handle heat better than acrylic. So this is made in worsted weight cotton yarn, and these are made with DK yarn with 2 strands held together. So I mean, you don't need to get new yarn. If you have cotton yarn in your closet or wherever you keep your yarn, just get them and use them for this coaster. So 2 strands of DK weight yarn or worsted weight yarn, cotton yarn, and a 4.5mm hook. Don't forget that you can find pattern on my blog for free, so you can also refer to that as we go through the pattern. All right, let's dive in. Okay, we want to start with a magic ring. A magic ring is best for this because we will, once we complete, we're going to pull this tail tightly. If I said start with chain 4 and join, which I'm going to do right now, 1 2 3 4, and join to the first chain, it doesn't create a lot of room in here to work into. And if we made more chains, made it wider, when it's time to close it up, it's going to be really difficult because those chains will not, they won't give. So it's best to start with a magic ring. If you do not know how to make a magic ring, just watch this slowly, reduce the playback speed, and I'm sure you'll be able to catch on, right? So I'm just going to wrap it around my finger. I wrap the yarn, and then I take this and go to the back, right? Not the front yet, to the back here. And I hold it, I take my hook, I put it in, and I'm going to pull this one out. I'll just twist it. Alright? It will take some time practicing, but I'm sure that you're going to get the hang of it once you get going. Just take your time and learn to do the magic circle. Alright, once that's done, we're going to chain 17. There we go. 17 chains. And we're going to skip the first chain and go into the second chain. So you could do 2 things, do it 2 ways. You could go directly into the chain like this and make your stitches, or you could go into the back bump like I always like to do and make your stitch. So half double crochet into the second stitch, into the second chain. That means we skip the first chain, and half double crochet into the next chain. You want to do this across the row, making half double crochet stitches into each of the chains. So I'm going to leave you to do that, and I'll see you at the end of the row. Alright, now we have all of the stitches done. That means we now have 16 stitches, right? Because we skipped the first chain, which was the 17th chain. We'll make a slip stitch into this ring. Okay, anytime we make a slip stitch, let's make sure that we're making that this tail is outward, not on this other side. So we're making a slip stitch in there into the ring. If the ring is if it's too wide, just close it up a bit, just to help you manipulate, control the piece better. Slip stitch into that ring. Now turn. Okay, now we want to make slip stitches across each of the stitches we just did on row 1. We are going to be making our slip stitches in through here, these into these back bumps here. This is sometimes called, well, often actually called the third loop of the half double crochet stitch. So when we go there, we just go in and slip stitch. So you see all of these things, these ones right here. And go again, slip stitch. Because what we're trying to get is, we want to create this ribbon. I have a short video on that that you might want to check out to see exactly how it is done. So slip stitch into that front loop only of each of the stitches. You want to keep your stitches, your slip stitches a little loose, not tight at all. Not tight, but not too loose either. Because when we come back to work row 3, we're going to work into the slip stitches, and we want it to be easy for us to do that. So I'm going to make slip stitch into each of these stitches, the front loop only of each of these stitches. So that means we'll have 16 slip stitches at the end of the row. So that's how it's going to turn out. I'll see you at the end of the row. Let me show you this very last part. Now it looks like it's all done, right? But no, we still have this last stitch here. It's curved because when we skip that one stitch, it made the stitch, that one chain at the beginning, it made the stitch curve to the side. So you want to take note of this part, this very last stitch, for every row that you make, so that you do not skip it. So I'm going to go there now and finish with that slip stitch. And there we go. I'm going to turn, heading on to row 3, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm making my chains tight. Alright, now we're going to increase. For next 1, 2, 3, next 4 half double crochet rows, we will increase. So into the first stitch here, I recommend that you place a stitch marker into this first slip stitch here, okay, so that it will be easy for you to know where to start and where to stop. So into this first stitch here, the last slip stitch here, we're going to make 3 half double crochet stitches, and we're going to make it into the front loop of the slip stitches. Just take a look at the V's that we have on here, the rows of V's. So you want to work into only one of the loops on this side, alright? So 3 half double crochet stitches into the first stitch there. Alright, now we're going to be making half double crochet stitches into the remaining stitches. One by one, one by one. Let's repeat this, half double crochet across. I'll see you at the end of the row. Alright, we're at the end of the row, and I'm going to guide you through this again. Just the same way we paid attention to the last stitch on here when we were finishing row 2 of the slip stitches, is the same way we want to pay attention to the last half double crochet we made into the last slip stitch stitch there. So there is a stitch here, right? I'm not just going to go in and join now. I need to know that there is a stitch here. Well, anyways, when you follow the written pattern, it states the number of stitches that you should make. So, but I just want to show you this so that you can be sure that you're making all of the stitches that you need to make. And we will go and slip stitch into the ring to finish row 3. All done. Now heading on to row 4. Turn into the front loop only, we go again and make slip stitches. Slip stitch. Remember to keep your slip stitches loose, not too loose either. And slip stitch. Alright, so let's repeat this across the row. Now working slip stitches into these 3 stitch increases on this side. When you work the last slip stitch, this is just a tip, when you work the last slip stitch, ordinarily I would just go here, right, and just do my slip stitch, which is not bad at all, it's great, but I want this stitch to be firmer, so that when we go back on the next row to work another increase, the gaping here will be less. See, when we did this, see this space here. So I want it to be firmer, so I will go in through one of these down here and into another down up here, to finish that. Alright, that's just a suggestion, you don't have to do that. Alright, I'm heading on to row 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3. We're going to increase again into the first stitch. We're making 3 half double crochet stitches. Alright, and now we're going to make half double crochet stitches across the row. So what we want to do now is to repeat what we've done on rows 3 and 4. We're going to repeat this all the way up to row 10. Alright, just to repeat the same plain increase at the beginning with your half double crochet, 3 half double crochet stitches, half double crochet into each of the stitches across, join into the ring, turn and slip stitch into the front loop only of each of the stitches across the row, turn, chain 3 and repeat again. So let's repeat rows 3 and 4 all the way to row 10. We're here now on row 5. Alright, making progress. We have repeated all of the rows up to row 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Now we're going to do only single rows. That means we're not increasing anymore. So, okay, we've turned now. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and into the first stitch, half double crochet, and into the next half double crochet. So no more increases, only single stitches. So let's make half double crochet into each of the stitches across the row, and we will join into the circle here and join to the ring, turn, slip stitch into the first stitch and the next stitch, and each stitch across the row, in front loop only, of course. Alright, all done. Rows, those are rows 11 and 12, right? So let's go again, chain 3, half double crochet into the first stitch. What we want to do now is repeat rows 11 and 12 up to row 16. Only single rows, no more increases on those sides. So let's go ahead and repeat rows 11 and rows 12, the half double crochet row and the slip stitch row. So I'm going to see you at the end of row 16. Remember, you can always refer to the written pattern, right? Okay, row 16 done. Now what I want to do is decrease so that the side comes curving out, just like here. This is row 16 now. Now we'll turn in, chain 3. Let's decrease across 3 stitches. So we will go into the first stitch, as though you wanted to do a half double crochet, but we're not going to finish. We won't finish. We yarn over again, skip the middle stitch and go into the third stitch. You see that? And we will finish. There we go. So we have decreased across 3 stitches, doing the half double crochet 2 together, half double crochet decrease through in the first and the third. We skipped the middle stitch. So let's go ahead and do a half double crochet into the remaining stitches. Join to the ring, slip stitch into the first stitch, and into each stitch across the row. Alright, and into the last stitch we will do our, you see where I'm working into for that last stitch, which is the decrease here. Alright, turn, chain 1, 2, 3. Let's decrease again in the first stitch, half double crochet decrease here. Skip the next stitch and in the next, there we go, and work half double crochet across and work slip stitch back. So what I want to do now is to repeat these 2 rows. So we have here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So 17 and 18. We're going to be repeating row 17, the decrease row, and the slip stitch row 18, all the way up to row 20, and we will be done. So let's go ahead and repeat this, and I'll see you on row 20. So decrease on the half double crochet rows only, and slip stitch all the way back. I'll see you on. Alright, row 24. The slip stitch row, and let's finish. Alright, so for the last row we're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into the first stitch and into each stitch across the row. Let's join into the ring. And we're done. Now I'm going to pull this tail close. It's not going to close all the way because, you know, it's really tight. Yeah, the stitching makes it really tight. Okay, so once you do that, you're satisfied. When you pull this through, we're going to weave the tails in. I'm going to join these and weave the tails in, and you have a seashell coaster. Thank you for joining me on this video tutorial. I hope that you found it useful. If you did, consider subscribing to this channel, sharing this video and liking it. Also leave us a comment down there what your favorite sea items are. This is a seashell. What other things from the sea do you like? All right, I'll see you in the next video tutorial. God bless you. Bye.